CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
A beautiful shot, but it is brutally hot out there. Miami already broke its record high today, and we are expecting even more heat. Let's get right to Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler. Wow, Cindy, you warned us, but it's tough out there.
And really the story is that today is not the only day. We're going to have a string of these heading into the weekend. So really the best advice is to make sure you drink lots of water, because there's several events coming up this weekend that are outdoors. People are going to be working hard. So yeah, slow down, get inside by the air conditioning when you can, because we're not quite used to this anymore. This is more like summer than fall, certainly. So record heat, that continues. Feels like it's in the triple digits. Solar eclipse this Saturday, as well as the More Than Pink Walk, and the coolest air of the season. That's going to be our reward for enduring this kind of heat. So far today, 93 degrees. That breaks the old record of 92 degrees. So yes, it's a sizzler. Right now it's 93, 89 in Homestead, so a little bit cooler down there. And the Keys also in the upper 80s at this point. But it feels like it's 104, so we do have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. That adds to the stickiness. Very summer-like day going on, and no rain at this point. All the storms have been to the north across the central part of the state. You likely heard about the tornado outbreak overnight in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area. They did have damage there. It's all due to a frontal system, an area of low pressure that's tracking across North Florida, so that path continues to bring showers and thunderstorms from Tampa all the way across to the other side of the state, and that's really where it's going to stay for now. And then as we head into tomorrow, Friday, we will have a chance to pick up some showers and thunderstorms. Winds go from southwest to westerly. That will bring moisture in here. We don't have a front coming in just yet. We'll wait on that until the weekend, but look at the numerous scattered showers and thunderstorms by your afternoon tomorrow. So today's a dry day. Tomorrow we'll have a better chance to pick up some rain, and then heading into the weekend it dries out again. So we're waiting on this strong cold front. So tomorrow will be another day with record heat. We're expecting it. This front will change things completely. Drier, cooler air moving through as that front makes its way all the way through South Florida. At least that's what we're hoping for. And then by Monday, a huge difference in the way that everything's going to feel. But as for tomorrow, again, we'll go back into the triple-digit heat index. The feels-like temperatures, cooler air. That slides all the way south. This is really the first strong fall-like frontal system coming all the way through South Florida. And it's got to be a strong one to get this far south at this time of the year. So again, we've got the More Than Pink Walk taking place at Amelia Earhart Park. That's in Hialeah. Temperatures will be very warm, already reaching into the upper 80s, but it's what it feels like. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you do whatever you need to do to cool off and stay safe. So here's your forecast. Highs tomorrow again, mid-90s. 93 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday. Then the change moves in. Look at this, dry, beautiful conditions, really no rain in the forecast, highs in the 80s.
It is now day 6 of the Israel-Hamas war. Near constant airstrikes have leveled entire neighborhoods and forced about 340,000 people to flee their homes. Plumes of smoke can be seen filling the sky over Gaza. Hamas militants have continued to fire rockets at Israel, sending residents to look for shelter. And following days of relentless airstrikes, dozens of Palestinian families and their children gathered at makeshift shelters for safety. And this is video of a kibbutz in Israel. After most of the bodies were retrieved from the site, you can see blackened walls and personal items scattered.
Thank you so much for being here and speaking to me. It means a lot.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with devastated civilians, and that includes Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv in a show of support. Meanwhile, here in South Florida, a well-known rabbi has been in Israel since the attacks by Hamas. He's speaking out about what he has seen. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch has the details.
Rabbi Raphael Tenenhouse of the Abad of South Broward was in Jerusalem when Hamas attacked Israel this past Saturday. He is still there. We spoke with him about his reaction to the events that have been happening.
Israel knew all along what type of an enemy they had. I think it's a wake-up call to the world and to the media. I think it could be compared to perhaps when people thought the world was flat and then suddenly there was an aha moment and they saw the world was round.
Rabbi Tenenhaus tells me that he will be in Jerusalem for at least another week. Coming up at 5, we'll have much more of that interview with him. In Hallandale Beach, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
The Israeli military is preparing for a possible ground invasion of Gaza. The conflict has already claimed more than 2,600 lives on both sides. We need to warn you that some of the images you're about to see are disturbing. CBS News Miami's Skylar Henry has the latest.
There is a renewed focus on trying to help with the hostage situation happening in this region. In addition to that, we've learned that the U.S. is now prioritizing getting Americans who are stuck in Israel out.
Israel says it has largely regained control of its border communities as it pounds the Gaza Strip with retaliatory strikes for Saturday's bloody attack. Israel's defense minister says no food, water, or fuel will be allowed into Gaza, where Hamas is holding dozens of hostages, by some estimates more than 100, and is threatening to begin executions. Among the captives is an 85-year-old grandmother who was paraded through the streets of Gaza.
I'm sure she's very scared, and I'm sure she feels very alone.
The U.S. State Department now believes Americans may be among the hostages.
Just given the sheer numbers involved, we do expect that there may well be Americans who have been caught up in the hostage taking as well.
In addition to those missing, U.S. officials confirm at least 9 Americans were killed in the attack. President Biden said all countries must stand united against the atrocities.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says Iran was complicit and that Israel must strike back.
No more proportional response. The goal of the Israeli military should be to destroy Hamas in Gaza.
America's most advanced aircraft carrier is moving towards the region as Israel confronts shock and grief. This man was at a music festival where more than 100 died.
They didn't care if you are a man or a woman, you are young or old man. They are killers, they are murderers. What they did is can be forgiven.
Even as the death toll in Gaza rises into the hundreds, Hamas continues firing rockets over the border. And Israel called up hundreds of thousands of reservists, preparing for the next stage of war.
And we have learned in the last 30 minutes or so that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is actually going to be in Israel tomorrow, meeting with Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu. There he will be discussing the country's objectives in terms of trying to ward off these Hamas threat. They will also be discussing the country's security assistance needs. We're here at the White House. I'm Skylar Henry. Najahe, back to you.
Skylar, thank you for your reporting. Stay with CBS News Miami on air and online for continuing coverage of Israel at war. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. We have new information now on the 17 Broward Sheriff's Office employees being charged with COVID-19 relief fraud. Just a short time ago, Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney and other law enforcement agencies spoke to the media. Sheriff Toney is promising that everyone involved will be held accountable.
Under my orders, I authorize our public corruption unit to investigate all 5,500 employees under this matter, to ensure that we were not going to leave one stone unturned and provide an opportunity for an employee, in this particular case, an employee who's wearing a badge and has taken an oath, to violate that oath and create embarrassment for this organization and for this profession.
Sheriff Toney also mentioned that no one has officially been asked to resign at this moment. A South Florida native whose parents moved here during World War II is making Miami proud. Carol Clarkson knows how expensive groceries can be, and that's why she puts her bargain hunting skills to good use. CBS News Miami's Lauren Pastrana has her story.
I like bargains, and it's kosher. Gorilla is kosher. It's one of the few kosher ones, at a reasonable price. It was buy one, get one.
Carol Clarkson can't pass up a good BOGO deal, but for her, it's more like buy one, give one.
Anyone can give a little bit, Those who can give a lot should give more. Those who can't, I know in this economy, there's a lot of people who need it.
Clarksons scours supermarkets for the best deals on groceries, not to stock her own shelves, but to fill the ones at the Dorit and Ben J. Janae cupboard in Davie. She donates hundreds of pounds of kosher groceries to the Goodman Jewish Family Services food pantry each month. She tries to shop for items that aren't usually donated, like sodium-free and sugar-free options for those with restrictive diets.
Paying full price, you don't get very much. I find some excellent bargains, and I spend the time when I get uptight or nervous or whatever, I go shop for food instead of going to the mall or something. I just hit grocery stores and pet food stores.
Carol is imperative to what we do here at the pantry. With the rising food costs, we are not able to raise enough money to provide food for all of the families that we serve.
Ross Adele is the director of operations at the cupboard. He lost his old job during the pandemic and says it very well could have been him at the pantry in need of food for his family. That's why generosity like Clarksons is so vital.
Every little bit helps. Whether it's one can of food or boxes of food, don't throw anything away. Even if you think it can't go, they say one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Because I have personal income, I feel I have to share it. God blessed me with the income, and I feel it's important that people and animals that don't have such good fortune share in it.
Clarkson says generosity is in her DNA. Her family has been giving back to the community since they moved to Broward County in 1939. In addition to donating food, she's also known for making financial contributions whenever Goodman Jewish Family Services is in need. Lauren Pastrana, CBS News, Miami.
That's your Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Thank you for joining us.